Begin by preparing your fabric. To do this, wash and dry your fabric and follow up with ironing before cutting the pattern. I am sewing this skirt with a textured cotton fabric I found at Joann Fabrics. I'm using the Betty pattern from my shop, which you can find linked below. For the top tier, I added a few inches, and for the bottom tier, I added 6 inches to the bottom, so it would be a longer length. You can cut the pattern pieces according to your measurements. Continue cutting your pattern pieces. You'll need the front top tier, front bottom tier, back top tier, and back bottom tier for this skirt. Of course, you can add pockets if you'd like, but I chose to omit these this time. For this skirt, I ran out of fabric for the back bottom tier. Instead of cutting the bottom tier on the fold, I cut 2 pieces and sewed them right sides together in the middle to create one large back tier. After sewing the pieces together, I serged the edges and then top stitched the seam to one side. This works well because of the gathers in the skirt. The seam doesn't stand out too much. You'll only add gather stitches to the front and back bottom tiers along the top of the pattern piece. My current favorite way to add gathers that I can adjust is to turn up this tension and stitch length on my machine as high as it will go. Then I sew a long stitch 1/4 of an inch away from the edge. This gathers the fabric and gives me some thread to work with to adjust the gathers as I fit to the top tiers. After the bottom tiers are gathered, lay out the front top tier in front of you, right side of the fabric facing up. With the right side of the bottom tier facing the right side of the top tier, attach the pattern pieces together with pins. Move the gathers around as needed to fit the bottom tier to the top. Return your stitch length and tension to their usual position and sew the tiers together at 1/2 inch seam allowance. Follow this with serging the edges or using a zigzag stitch to secure your seams and enclose those raw edges. Repeat this for the back top tier and back bottom tier. Now you'll have a front piece and back piece of your skirt. Right sides together, match the side seams together and pin in place. Starting at the top of the skirt, sew the side seams at a 1/2 inch seam allowance. Serge the raw edges and iron the seam to one side. Top stitch 1/8 of an inch for a finished look. Top tier, fold the fabric down towards the wrong side, a 1/2 inch, and iron all the way around the skirt. Fold once more at 1 inch and iron. For the waist, measure your waist where you want the skirt to hit. I usually pull it a little snug around my waist to get a good measurement. Now cut your elastic. I used 1/2 inch elastic because that is what I had on hand, but I also recommend a 1 inch elastic for a skirt like this. Sew the waist of the skirt 3/4 inch all the way around the skirt, leaving a 2 inch opening for the elastic. Grab a safety pin and attach it to the end of the elastic. Insert it into the channel and push it through until the end of the elastic is almost in the channel. Pin the end of the elastic to the fabric where the opening is and continue inching the elastic through the channel. When you reach the other side, make sure the elastic isn't twisted and sew the two ends of the elastic together with a zigzag stitch. Pull the elastic into the channel and top stitch the opening closed. Now all that is left is to hem your skirt. Usually I like to try on my skirt to see how short I want it to be and then fold the bottom towards the wrong side of the fabric 1/2 inch and then once more 1 to 2 inches depending on how much fabric I have left. I love the look of a 2 inch or larger hem. I think it is a nice finish. Top stitch all the way around and iron. Now you have a simple skirt perfect for all seasons. Find the pattern below and I can't wait to see what you create. For more inspiration on skirts and dresses, you can watch this next video.